Thank you very much, sir, for your kind permission. And Honorable Principal, sir, our esteemed expert speaker of the day, Dr. Ashwini Bhalla ji, Professor SED, Government College, Ludhiana, Dr. Rohit Sachdeva ji, my colleagues, Dr. Bhavuk and Ma'am Yogita, and dear students, a very good morning to you all. कल मैं ना एक छोटी सी स्टोरी पढ़ रहा था। आई वाज छोटा सा स्टोरी। हमारे हिंदू शास्त्रों में ये माना जाता है कि जब भगवान शिव जी डमरू बजाते हैं तो बारिश होती है। तो एक बार भगवान शिव जी ने डमरू बजाना छोड़ दिया, एक साल बारिश नहीं हुई। तो सब लोग इकट्ठे होकर भगवान जी के पास चले गए कि भगवान जी ये बारिश क्यों नहीं हो रही है। तो भगवान जी ने बोला कि आने वाले 12 साल में डमरू नहीं बजाऊंगा, मतलब 12 साल बारिश, 12 years देयर इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी एनी रेन। तो लोग उदास होकर वापिस आ गए। अब सब लोग आके बैठ गए, चुपचाप बैठ गए। बट देयर वाज वन फार्मर जो खेत में लगातार काम करता रहा 6 महीने। तो लोगों ने उसको बोला कि व्हाई यू आर वेस्टिंग दिस टाइम, कि आप जब बारिश होनी नहीं है 12 साल। तो ही सेड कि आई एम कीपिंग ऑन प्रैक्टिस, कि मैं प्रैक्टिस कर रहा हूं कि ऐसा ना 12 साल बारिश नहीं होगी, मैं 12 साल में काम भूल जाऊं कि हाउ टू डू द एग्रीकल्चर मैं भूल जाऊंगा, तो इसीलिए मैं प्रैक्टिस कर रहा हूं। तो जब ऊपर भगवान जी ने देखा, उनके साथ माता पार्वती थे, उन्होंने देखा, तो उन्होंने भगवान को बोला कि हो सकता है भगवान जी 12 साल में आप भी डमरू बजाना भूल जाओ। तो भगवान जी ने कहा कि यस, ये हो सकता है। तो उन्होंने कहा कि एक बार बजा के देखिए कि आपको आता भी है या भूल गए। तो उन्होंने बजाया और बारिश होने लग गई। तो जो लोगों ने कुछ नहीं किया था उनके खेत खाली रहे, पर जिसने मेहनत की थी उसका खेत हरा भरा हो। तो बच्चे, सेम पेंडेमिक टाइम पे यही चीज एप्लीकेबल है। एज आई टोल्ड यू कि पेंडेमिक इज गिविंग यू अपॉर्चुनिटी, प्रॉब्लम्स तो हैं बट एट द सेम टाइम अपॉर्चुनिटीज भी हैं। एंड हमारे कॉलेज के लिए ये मेरे को पता है कि हमारे कॉलेज में ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि स्टूडेंट आउट ऑफ प्रैक्टिस हो जाए। मैं देख रहा हूं प्रिंसिपल सर आज भी ऑफिस में बैठे, व्हेन एवरीबॉडी ऑफ वी पीपल आर सिटिंग एट आवर होम। सो थैंक यू वेरी मच सर, आप फॉर गिविंग अस अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर अरेंजिंग सच लेक्चर्स। एंड so pandemic which is creating havoc on the society, all sections of the society. So it is our responsibility to understand our, it is our duty to understand our responsibility towards the society. So today we have a towering personality among us, Dr. Ashwini Bhalla ji. He will talk about corporate social responsibility and business ethics, especially in this pandemic era. Dr. Bhalla has got 27 years of teaching experience and has written more than 20 research papers and 9 books. He has attended more than 20 national and international conferences, got number of awards, and is heading Punjab Commerce and Management Association, which is doing yeoman's service in the field of commerce and management. So I welcome you, sir, and I'll request our honorable principal, sir, to share his wisdom with our students and say a few words of blessings. Honorable principal, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Neeraj. I appreciate the efforts of Department of Business Management for organizing this lecture. I take this opportunity to extend welcome to Professor Ashwini Bhalla, SCD Government College, Ludhiana. As already told, the topic is corporate social responsibility and business ethics in COVID era. I'm not sure whether the ethics has been changed for business in the COVID era, or ethics have not been practiced, or people show complacency towards the ethics. because I'm not authority. Dr. Bhalla is authority. Of course, he will be reflecting upon it. But one thing which we are witnessing, we are listening to the news, that is quite disturbing. The news of people minting money in thousands or lakhs for an article that costs in hundreds only. Inaccessibility of the medicines, or the black marketing of medicines, black marketing of oxygen, even the daily routine, say material and activities. Once it was said by Winston Churchill that the character of a nation is judged when it is in crisis. I'm not jumping to the conclusion, but if we have to test on this parameter, though it is not the first time that we, the Indian society, not only at present the whole world, but I'm talking of the Indian society who is facing this crisis. We are in this tough situation. But are we behaving in the same way as we forefathers were behaving? And if it is not so, and if this trend is towards the negative, then it really concerns us. And along with this, what is the social responsibility not only of the corporate, but of the individuals also? Dear students, I feel proud that our volunteers are providing the service since this pandemic has started. I appreciate your services for making and distributing the masks, for organizing and conducting the rallies, for using the social platform media to make the students aware, visiting the college and making your service teams along with your teachers to reach out to the community, arranging the food for the poor who can't afford food, reaching to the old age homes, reaching to the schools of disabled, etc., etc., etc. These are, I think, the ethics which we have to practice in our normal times also. But how we have to behave in this time of situation. I can remind of Swami Vivekanand, who along with his team of disciples jumped to the masses in 1918 when there was a pandemic in India. And he served in the vicinity of, in the interiors of Kolkata. Once again, we are in that situation. So the person who is amongst us, Dr. Ashwini Bhalla, I can recollect few names only. And one of them is Dr. Ashwini Bhalla, that when in the month of March, I think 22nd March 2020, when the lockdown started, it was a very gloomy situation for all of us, for the whole society in general, and particularly for us who are in teaching. And within few days, Dr. Bhalla started interacting with the society, with the students, with the teachers through online platforms, through virtual platforms. And till date, he is continued. He is continuously, continued for certain series also for his talks. And he organized a number of talks, gave went outs to number of students, teachers, and common men of the society. That is why we are surviving. The dilemma is this, that this ailment expect of isolation, whereas for the survival of society, we need to connect with each other. So the dilemma is only this, how we can connect with each other, maintaining the isolation. And my serious concern, if this situation, which is continuing for last about 15 months, may be prolonged for a year or two also. will it be impacting our socio-psychological setup in the isolation? There are so many concerns, but today's topic of talk is corporate social responsibility and business ethics, as the students on this platform today are from business management only. So business at some moment may not only be for earning the money. At certain moments, it may be for earning your reputations, the reputation that may you get or accrue benefits for the coming decades or centuries. So I extend once again welcome to Professor Ashwin Verma on my own behalf, on behalf of the faculty, students, and on behalf of the management of Multanimal Modi College. Over to Dr. Neeraj.
Thank you, sir. Uh, you have really shown very genuine concern for the society, and we promise you, sir, that the students of uh, business department, they will definitely follow the spirit of true and will try to do best as far as possible to do contribute something to the society. So thank you very much, sir. Now I will request Dr. Ashwini Bhalaji to share his views on corporate social responsibility and business ethics. He's authority on this topic, so sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Neeraj. Most respected Dr. Khushvinder ji, Principal Modi College, Patiala, Dr. Neeraj Goyal ji, Head of the Department of Business Administration, Rohit ji, Bhavuk ji, and my dear students. It's a great opportunity for me in this pandemic situation that I am interacting with you to share my views on very important issue, because when we are in this turmoil today, it is very important that we must discuss the issues which are relevant to the society. In this pandemic situation, everybody is worried and we are passing through a difficult situation. The situation is difficult, but it is not impossible to cure all these. If as a society, as an organ of the society, we are united and we pay certain responsibility toward the curing of this disease as well as saving the people on this earth, I think we can cure it. Dr. Khushvinder has raised very pertinent issues, that whether we are behaving responsibility as a part of the society. There are different organs of this society. We as an individual are part of it. We as non-governmental organization are part of it. As a government, we are part of it. As a business community, we are also very important part of it. Whether all are behaving responsibly, or whether we are moving in the right direction to save the humanity on this earth. Because today's most important issue is not to earn profit or to earn revenue for the government or to earn revenue as an individual and save for the future. Our most important issue is to survive on this earth. Today's survival is very important issue rather than earning profits or making some benefits for our generation or for the future generation. If we are not in a position to save the humanity on this earth, whatever we have earned, that will remain without utilization and we will go from this heaven. So we have to think about it as an individual, as a member of the society, as a non-governmental organization, or as a government, or as a business community. How can we play our proactive role to save the humanity on this earth, so to save the life on this earth? The human being is struggling to reach out to the moon or to the Mangal, etc., to make certain kind of living standards there and go and reach there and make research in that field. But astonishingly, we are not in a position, even 1 year has passed, we are not in a position to develop a vaccine which can cure automatically the disease of coronavirus or COVID from this earth. That living on a human earth is very, very difficult today. So we have to set out our priorities. What is our priority? Saving the humanity on this earth, or going to moon to develop certain new kind of localities there so that human being can go there? So all are the questions which needs to be replied. Dr. Kushwinder has rightly pointed out that there are number of news which are coming in the newspaper, and that some of the people are not behaving responsibly, and there is a black marketing and people are engaged in profiteering, etc. And even sometimes government is not behaving properly. But still there are two sides of the coin. There are people who are serving to the humanity from whole heart, and they are making contribution to save the humanity on this earth. There are certain non-governmental organization who has worked very hard during the last 2 or 3 lockdowns, and even today they are struggling to reach out to the people to help them. But the kind of work which must have been done by the corporates, there are number of corporate houses which are behaving responsibility. They are opening hospitals, they are supplying oxygen gas cylinders to the district administration, and closing down even their production units so that they can produce oxygen for the humanity and supply to the government hospitals and the private hospitals. But still, there are certain corporate houses which are in the race of profiteering. They are molding this crisis into their opportunity for the sake of their personal benefits. That is a shamed on us. Everywhere, when we move in the society, there are two sides of the coin, and we must have to look into the positive side of the coin and must ignore the negative sign and compel the negative sign to be positive for the society as a whole. So next 45 to 1 hour discussion I will be making on corporate social responsibility, the business ethics, and how we are behaving in this society as a whole to save the humanity in this earth. And if we do not work jointly, how we are going to be at loss. And if we are in a position to a win-win situation, definitely it is going to be advantages for the corporate sector also. So let me share with you my presentation, which I have basically focused on 2 or 3 things. Number one is corporate social responsibility and ethical conduct. What kind of ethical conduct is expected from the corporate houses? What kind of ethical conduct is expected from a partnership firm or the individual business people? And why this is necessary in the need of this particular time when we are in the current scenario of the pandemic situation. So all these things will be the focus point of my discussion during this my whole 45 minutes or 1 hour lecture. Then I will be focusing on certain queries which may be raised by you. Most importantly, before we go further, we must understand how this corona outbreak is affecting our economy, how this corona outbreak is affecting our social life as well as our business community as a whole, and how they are also in crisis. Business community can serve you only if they have the resources, if in return they are getting something from the society in the form of certain returns which they are providing you in the form of goods and services which are supplied to you. If I look at the this corona outbreak since December 2019, it was not in March 22nd of 2020, but it was started from the December 19 that the whole world started struggling with the COVID-19. It started from the China and then UK and then USA. It flows to India also in the mid of the March. As far as Indian subcontinent is concerned, it is also witnessing its impact from the February last to till now. There was a complete breakdown as enshrined by Dr. Kushwinder ji in his initial remarks that March 22nd, 2020 was the date when we were in the complete lockdown, and most of the states remained under curfew. And still now, if we look at the present scenario, still many of the states are in the state of curfew, and even in the Punjab we have the curfew from 11 noon to next day 5 a.m. So we faced the second phase of corona outbreak, and now it is expected that after the September itself, uh, we may be in the third phase of the corona outbreak. So large segment of the population is under fear. We are not finding any place in the hospitals. There is a shortage of the oxygen. There is a shortage of the most of the kind of medicines which are required, and many of the people are making black marketing of the injections which are used for curing the corona patients. This is a very, very grim situation, and this situation do not favor to live humanity on this earth in a peaceful manner. So the Indian economy as a whole is expected to lose or over 32,000 crores every day one lockdown is placed. And most of our business houses, 53% of the businesses in this country are projected to be significantly affected. And 92% of the Indian labor, which is in the unorganized sector, has no work and they had lost their jobs, because we are observing that because of this corona outbreak and lockdown and necessity of using the oxygen for the humanity to save the humanity as a whole, many industrial houses has to cut down their productions. So that is bound to reduce the employment opportunities for the unorganized sector also. The supply chain has been put under stress. Various businesses like hotels and airlines are cutting their salaries and laying off their employees. So this is also a very, very grim situation. Our Prime Minister, before this COVID situation, has promised from the Red Fort that we are going to have a 5 trillion economy in a few years to now. But I think because of this situation, the dream of 5 trillion economy is washed away for the time being. Our manufacturing sector, our real estate sector, our accommodation sector, food sector, tourism sector has been severely affected. And 10.5% work hours has been reduced. And the large segment of the population, that is 25%, 25.7% in the rural area and 13.7% in the urban sector, is living near poverty line, which has been severely affected. Startups, which was the dream of our Prime Minister to give employment opportunities to the youth, that has also been finished. And out of 130 crore population, 25 crore Manrega workers were not able to earn even bread and butter during this period of lockdown, and they have to be dependent upon the non-governmental organization for daily meals. And hats off to the non-governmental organization that they work very hard to provide food and shelter to the people who are not having the and shelter opportunities for on their own. And even after first lockdown, there is a report of World Bank that there is lot of labor shortage to the industry as a whole, because most of the people have moved to their native places. And still in Ludhiana, we are witnessing large number of trains and large number of buses are going to the native places of the migrant laborers, and they are not in a mood to return back till this situation is over. And this is going to pose a major crisis to the industry as well as the agriculture sector. And trade cost is going to be increased. We have a discussion with so many small scale industry people. They say that for moving to luggage from one place to another place, earlier we were paying 200 rupees per round. Now we have to pay 400 rupees. Ultimately, this has increased the trading cost of the industry sector also. In this scenario, in this situation, we have a lot of expectations from the industry also, that they should behave properly. This is a right time that they should work for the community as a whole, as a philanthropist, so that when the situation is over, they can win the confidence of the people and provide goods and services to them in a very sophisticated manner. So similarly, the another aspect is that public is cutting down their expenditure. At least 60% cut is expected, which is going to severely affect every sector of the economy. Remaining 40%, we are only spending on the daily needs, that is grocery item. Major shift is expected in the buying behavior of the customers. So tourism industry is almost finished, that as I have already said to you. So then the Indian apart from that, this COVID situation has many health, economic, and social risks, which is need to be analyzed very sensibly and sincerely. Health risk, as I have already told you, there are no beds in the hospitals. The vaccine shortage is there, absence of vaccine or treatment against the disease, and the insufficient stock of the sanitary material and protective environment. And it has been found in many situations that even PPE kits are not available. Insufficient stock of hospital areas for seriously ill patients, and the absence of facilities to house mild and asymptomatic patients, unaffected elderly, and other vulnerable groups. And if we look at the economic risk at the business level, new security and cyber security risk for the employees with customer and customers are rising out. Operational risk due to the limitation of face-to-face economic activities, and operating costs not correlated with the income, and liquidity problems are faced by the industry as a whole. And the survival of the industry in this market is very, very difficult now. Socioeconomic risks are also there. There is an employment loss and loss of income, and the emergence of situations of vulnerability. Massive appearance of the psychological problems due to pain from the loss of loved ones, or from problems associated with the new personal and work situations. Feeling of loneliness people are facing, and the need for training and layer activities at home due to limited mobility. These are the certain health, economic, and social risks from the COVID situation which has been faced by today. So therefore, this crisis resulting from the pandemic has caused a change in the way of the corporation pursue their economic, social, and environmental objectives, giving greater importance to role they must play in the society. In this view, firm needs to adopt new kind of CSR strategies in order to establish a business commitment to the society and vulnerable groups, especially those closest to them, which is the local environment associated with the country of the origin of the firms and territories in which companies operate and have a greater presence. The equilibrium of profit and common good will be the most adequate strategy in order to survival in the long term. So this is not a time to earn profit only. Here, I would like to remind you the Ratan Tata statement on corporate social responsibility. He said that year 2020 and 21 is not a year of profits, but of sacrifices and saving life on this earth. This is not a time that we must focus only on the profit. Even if we are on the marginal platform, that we are just covering our marginal cost and covering our fixed cost and not earning profit, even then you must be satisfied with that, that you are serving to the society by giving the employment to the people as well as providing quality goods and services to them. Earning a marginal profit will be sufficient in this regard. So it means if you observe this statement says a lot of things to the public at large as well as the different stakeholders of the society. We need to redefine the parameters of the economic growth if we want to work sensibly and behave properly towards the different organs of the society. We have to redefine the economic growth not in terms of percentage of increase in GDP, gross domestic product. We have to redefine the growth parameter in terms of happiness and health index of the people. If people are happy, people are healthy, and they're in a position to survive on this earth, only then your corporations will run. Otherwise, you will also vanish with the passage of time. So you have to provide social security to the population. You have to prescribe and define the growth parameters in terms of quality of its human resources. You have to define the growth parameters in terms of quality of immunity of the population. So these are the things which needs to be redefined from the angle of Ratan Tata's statement. This is not an year of earning the profits only. This is an year that we can make sacrifices to save the humanity on this earth. If we are in a position to increase the health and happiness index of the people, that means we are a very, very enriched people and providing good service to the society. if we are providing social security to the population in terms of giving them bread and butter and quality of human resources, and we are improving the immunity of our population, I think this is the cause which we need to serve. So this is one thing which I think as a business community and as an individual or as a part of the NGO or as a part of the different organ of the society, we must think of. As far as corporate social responsibility and company is concerned, they go side by side. It is not there that you are spending toward the society and you are doing some favor to the society only. Basically, this is a time to return back to the society whatever you have gained from the society in return to the whatever you have gained to the from the society. So CSR is an important for the community. It is equally valuable for the company also. CSR activities can help forge a strong bond between employees and the corporation, boost morale, and help the employees and employers feel more connected with the world around them. And corporate social responsibility or CSR is a concept that aims to make a company socially accountable to its stakeholders and the public at large. Though their CSR practices, through their CSR practices, companies are conscious of the kind of impact they have on all aspects of the society, including economic, social, and environmental. So it is a way of giving back to the society for the various resources it uses to run its businessman. So it is not there that if a company is exercising certain CSR activities and spending as a daswand, as Guru Sahban always said that we must spend at least 10% of the revenue or profit we earn to the welfare of the society. If you spend something that is basically giving back to the society in return to its various resources which you have used from the society. So it is a both win-win situation for both company as and society at a large. So here it is very important that industry leaders need to redesign their growth strategies by incorporating corporate social responsibility as a very, very permanent agenda for them. Sharing profits with the customers and other stakeholders, this is one thing. You have to adopt various kind of pricing policies which suits to both the stakeholders, giving minimum profits to the company as well as giving right kind of pricing to the various customers so that they can have qualitative goods at affordable price. This is one thing, and they should not be hoarding during this period of time. As a businessman or as a corporate house, I have to be very honest as a taxpayer. If we will not pay taxes to the government, how the government will behave and how the government will respond to the various actions which are needed for the society. You must produce environmentally safe products and services and efficient pricing which suits to all the stakeholders. And most importantly, in order to promote the indigenous products and services and give boost to the employment in the Indian sector, we must use the indigenous technology for that and give importance to the local medium small and enterprises and explore the possibility of the using of the raw material instead of importing the things from the abroad. So wherever necessary we can import, but most of the time we must give the focus and importance to the local raw material so that our own people can be strengthened, our own production units or small scale industrial units can be strengthened and give employment to the people as a whole. Now in this situation, if we don't serve to the society by giving the share to them in terms of profit or right kind of pricing strategies or paying taxes, then choice is between dying with the virus or dying with the starvation is there. The government will put on lockdown facilities if the industry which is running and managing 100 workers and they are not providing good facilities and health opportunities and health facilities to all of them, that the government is bound to take the lockdown. So if the lockdown is there, people will die with the starvation. And if the lockdown is not there, we have to save ourselves from the virus. So if the lockdown continue, the people die with the starvation, and if the lockdown is open, then people will die with the coronavirus. And we have to analyze this situation in a very, very win-win situation. And here the quote of Narayan Murthy is very important, that India must accept the coronavirus as a new normal. Otherwise, if the lockdown continue, hunger may kill more than people, more than the COVID-19. As we study daily from the health experts, from the readings of World Health Organization, we find that this COVID situation is not going far in a very near future. It may take 2 years, 3 years, or by that time, some another kind of virus may be there. It means, depending upon the situation, we have to change our lifestyle. We have to change the lifestyle of working of your organization, the lifestyle of running a business. So we have to accept this COVID-19 as a new normal in this social responsibility scenario is concerned. So we must work towards finding out new ways of becoming the normal. Otherwise, we may be continue to be struggled with this kind of situation. Here, scientific approach is needed for all of us to adopt corporate social responsibilities. First, it is our responsibility that we must strengthen the make in initiatives, because otherwise people will not be having any kind of job opportunities for them. And secondly, we have to commercialize the indigenous technology and development of technology driven, transparent public distribution system. People are not getting even bread and butter, even many things which are supplied under the public distribution system in a transparent manner. There is a lot of hoarding. And we, as a corporate house, develop efficient rural healthcare delivery system. And drastic reduction of the imports is necessary. Otherwise, our import bill will rise and the foreign exchanges will vanish. And we must adopt the emerging technology domains like artificial intelligence to serve the people, so that this situation of social distancing, all etc., can be ensured. And we have to look both for demand and supply changes. This is the need of the hour during this pandemic situation. And self-reliant supply chain system need to be developed by the corporate sector. It is not there that they are just saving 2% of their revenue which they are earning and spending toward the corporate social responsibility, but the broad sphere of corporate social responsibility need to be thought out, which needs self-reliant supply chain, total focus on the self-reliant villages. Brand equity need to be redefined. Every citizen has to become brand ambassador for local made products and services, and Indian made brands needed to be given more importance. And similarly, our demand pattern needs to be changed. For that, our lifestyles need to be reoriented. This is the thing the corporate sector, along with the business community as a whole, to think over and reach at a conclusion to do all this. In the times of COVID-19, number of things has been redefined in terms of CSR. And COVID-19 has been considered as a global pandemic by the World Health Organization, and this continuous disease tremendously disrupted the socio-economic circumstances of the planet. And CSR is self-regulating business model that implies the procedures of interaction by a company with the stakeholders and the general public at large, creating a scenario of being socially responsible. And even the section 135 of the companies rules 2014 and schedule 7 of the companies act 2013 has said that every company with a net worth of 500 crore or more, or turnover of 1000 crore or more, or a net profit of rupees 5 crore or more during the immediate preceding financial year, must have a CSR committee in their company, and at least 2% of the average net profit earned during 3 immediate preceding financial years must be spent on the CSR activities. So this is a broad guideline under the Companies Act 2013. So accordingly, Ministry of Corporate Affairs has issued a circular which has redefined the areas where we can spend during this COVID period. and funds may be spent on various activities like eradicating hunger, like eradicating poverty, malnutrition, promoting healthcare, including preventive healthcare, sanitation, including contribution to Swachh Bharat course set up by the Center for Promoting Sanitation and Making Available Safe Drinking Water, and disaster management, including rehabilitation, relief, and reconstruction activities. This is what the Ministry of Corporate Affairs has redefined the areas where you can spend the 2% of the profit which you have earned during the last 3 years on the various organs of the society. But this is an opportunity for the business itself also. So COVID-19 pandemic offers a great opportunity for businesses to shift towards more genuine and authentic CSR and contribute to address urgent global social and environmental challenges. And the areas where they can spend focus on philanthropy, improving operational effectiveness. Even if they improve the operational effectiveness of their organization and cut down their costs, that is also a serving to the society, and they have to transform the business model in the light of all these new changes which are occurring in because of the COVID standard operating procedures. So you have to be very responsible corporate citizen. Being responsible corporate citizen by complying with the social distancing measure is very important issue which the corporates has to understand. We have seen even in Ludhiana that there are a number of small industrial units which are working in one room only, where 20 to 25 workers are working. This is a very great opportunities for them to behave responsibly. They have to find out the ways and means so that their work can be started and the shifted so that the social distancing norms or other standard operating procedures can be followed. The great other the large number of units of the large industrial houses, they are following it. We have to understand the people perception about the corporate and social sector. So companies are judged by how they act in difficult times, such as current coronavirus. Making charitable contribution is a positive action that companies are in a position to take during this crisis. In a high pressure environment, when the chance of losing perspective is high, it's worth remembering that while times of urgency and crisis call for a unusual measures, and it breaches of compliance and ethical standards can expose an organization to serious risk. If a company in present circumstances do not behave responsibly and they try to exploit this situation for profiteering or black marketing, the people will remember you and they will not let you work when the normal time will come. So this is a democracy, my dear friends. So if we can change the governments, we can also stop the corporate houses to work if they don't behave properly in this present environment. So it is the high time that corporates must change their people's perception regarding their working, and they should earn certain good points in the eyes of the society so that when the normal times come, they will have a worship kind of situations like this. Here, employees are very, very important organs of any industrial organization or any corporate sector. So businesses should first focus on the people. They must depend most on their employees. I have seen in so many organizations that most of the organizations are not giving focus to the on the people or the employees which are working for them. They treat them like a bonded labor. Even it pinches them that if they work from home, they don't have any regard to the health facilities for the employees, or they don't have any kind of regard for the safety and health hazards regarding this. So the absolute top priority should be ensuring employee comfort and safety if you are a responsible citizen. Nothing else even comes close at a time when a dangerous health threat cover the globe. No doubt you have seen the screens at store checkouts counters and the tape on the floor telling customers where to stand. This is, of course, the responsible thing to do for all of us under the circumstances. But first and foremost, it shows that employers are primarily concerned with the creating safe workplace with all reasonable precautions that they can take. So it is a high time that we must care about the health of our employees. If they are bringing fruits for you, but even by working at home, you should not challenge this working style. employees' well-being, it is very important to be taken care of, especially their mental health. We can't deny that these are stressful times for any number of reasons associated with anxiety about the future and legitimate fear about the spread of the pandemic situation. The public simply wants reassurance. Second aspect is public. Public simply wants reassurance in any form. It could be reassurance that brand or store they depend on is functioning normally, that a product they need is available. There's no scarcity of the product. You are not minting profit, as Dr. Kushbinder has said, that many of the companies are minting profit by creating the scarcity of the products and services and charging heavily from the customer. This is not time to do that. Brands should resist the temptation to constantly update customers through, for example, social media, adding to their general noise and anxiety, and keep it simple, keep it positive, and keep it short. I would like to show you here one of the company's excellent efforts toward that. Let me show to you the Vardhman's public perception regarding this. Then I will move to further. Vardhman has created Vardhman Foundation. We care, we build. And whatever they are doing for the society, they are highlighting it through their Facebook page. And what is that? We care, we build. We care for your needs. We care for your sentiments. We care for your beliefs. And we build a positive change, a better society, and a stronger nation. So, whatever they are doing for the society, they are highlighting on their Facebook page. For example, Vardhman Group has remained in limelight for the school development program. It runs under the CSR activities, and they have highlighting it through their all the Facebook pages, and they have got the global award for CSR award for this. And even they have constructed a Vardhman block at Government Senior Secondary School, Ladowal in Ludhiana. This is what giving back to the society demands for. This is going to change the public perception. Similarly, I would like to show you one more page of the Vardhman group, if it works. Yes. This is a news of Vardhman Group supplying oxygen to the district administration of Ludhiana. And what they are doing, वर्धमान ग्रुप का ऑक्सीजन प्लांट बना संजीवनी लुधियाना जलंधर पटियाला व दिल्ली तक हो रही सप्लाई एंड दे आर गिविंग इट फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट and even there is a newspaper report that during this pandemic situation the supply of oxygen has been I think doubled by the Vardhman, and they are not using this oxygen for production of their own goods, but they are using this oxygen as a sanjeevani for the people of the society itself. These are the perceptions which I think needs to be highlighted during this period. So I will again continue with my topic which I share with you. Is my screen is visible to all of you?
No, sir, no.
Okay. Now,
नहीं सर, अभी नहीं आ रही है।
wait, there's some network issue. Just 1 minute.
No issue, sir. You kindly take your time.
Network issue.
Your lecture is indeed very interesting and really eye opener for we people. And so technology has its own limitations.
Yes.
सर तुसी मैंने WhatsApp पे सेंड कर दो, मैं प्ले करता हूँ.
No, it is going to run. Okay.
Okay.
Sir, though we deals with these issues as a business management student very frequently, but many things are new for
No,
we
no,
people
no.
also. तो बहुत चीजें मेरे लिए भी नहीं है सर.
Now it's okay.
जी.
So, okay, I will continue with the presentation because it is not visible because of the network issue. The most important thing I was just discussing, that whatever corporate sector is doing for the society as a whole, they should share it with the kind of information that they are doing it. Notwithstanding the human tragedy of lost lives and broken families and scared communities, the economic and social changes caused by the pandemic driven lockdown will constitute a cultural legacy, which will give a long way of memories and those future generations. So, this is very painful for the personal, emotional, psychological, societal, and economic and cultural things. So, if you share the information and do something for the society as a whole, definitely this is going to benefit you as a whole. So this impact of COVID-19 on global economy is likely to unprecedented, even more than the Great Depression of the 1930. Therefore, probably the COVID-19 pandemic represent one of the most significant environmental changes in the modern marketing history, which could potentially have a profound effect on the corporate social responsibility also, and even consumer ethics, even basic marketing philosophy. So therefore, the short-term impact of COVID-19 is immediately and effortlessly felt due to the widespread lockdown and social distancing measures globally. So we have to take care as a corporate house or as a business community, we have to take care that there is no profiteering at all. We have to avoid the profiteering, and otherwise it is going to challenge your status in future. And it has been reported that some of the firms and retailers are tried to profiteering during this crisis, even the last year also. So inevitably, this crisis has put companies under test for its commitment. If you are not doing well today now to the ethical business conduct or not behaving properly, this is going to change your way of working in your future. So we have to stop unethical business practices. We have to focus on the welfare of the society as a whole. There is a positivity of CSR during the COVID-19, and if you do something positive, this is going to benefit to the society as a whole. Now, there are certain situations I think which we must take care. Let me try if it is able to be shared with you uh, because I have refreshed it. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, it is visible now. So let me continue with it. So there are 3 or 4 kinds of responsibilities which we must undertake. Number one, economic and legal responsibility, which are bound by law to serve that. So decisions that would managers would make to guarantee the creation of value for the shareholders. When you create value for these shareholders, shareholders are also part of the society. We have to work for the job security of the employees and the quality of the products and services they serve, and they suppose the fulfillment of laws and informal rules of the games. So all, if you fulfill economic and legal responsibility, that is also a part of the CSR. Commercial CSR actions closely related to the business activities and aim to obtaining economic benefits associated with attracting new customer or increasing the confidence of existing one. Then we have to rely on the CSR ethics, that is fair and equitable business decisions, that is efficient pricing policies, transferring some part of the profits to the customers, and altruistic CSR, that is philanthropic actions, giving some donation to the hospital, opening some health facilities, revamping the existing hospital facilities in the civil community, and preventing potential harm and alleviating negative externalities that affect the welfare of the state without necessarily entailing economic benefits of the company. So similarly, there are certain social strategic CSR, that is ethical and altruistic decisions selected to guarantee the creation of value for shareholders and investors and aimed at generating benefits for the company through their impact on image and reputation. So if we look at the Indian side of a corporate sector, they have immensely contributed. As in the beginning, I have said that there is no situation that government of India is not encouraging the corporate sector, and corporate sector is not responding positively. Though there are certain black sheeps also, but overall, the Indian corporate sector has behaved properly. And corporate India has already committed 5,806 crores Indian rupees towards India's fight against COVID-19 by 3rd May. And ICICI Group commits rupees 100 crore to fight COVID-19's pandemic situation. Ambuja Cement, ACC, gives rupees 3.3 crore to the NGO working as a COVID relief. And Coal India Limited donates rupees 221 crore to the Prime Minister PM Relief Fund. SBI Foundation commits rupees 30 crore for COVID-19 relief measures. Coca-Cola India has committed an initial support of 100 plus Indian rupees crores towards helping the healthcare system. Bosch India pledges rupees 50 crore to combat COVID-19 spread. Walmart, Flipkart pledged rupees 46 crore towards India's COVID-19 effort. So Indian corporate sector, the big giants, are coming forward to help the government of India and help the society at a large for fighting the COVID. So as from financial point of view, there are no less efforts by the corporate sector. So if I make a comparison of public and private sector, in private sector, 5,565 crore rupees has been contributed by the private companies to the PM Care funds, and 3,249 crores has been spent by the public sector companies to the Prime Minister Care Fund. So this is a big relief. This is the sources from Times of India. Uh, During the COVID period, many companies has responded positively in the various sectors. For example, provision for healthcare services, preventive health, yani sharing of information, provision of quarantine centers and quarantine facilities, and contract tracing, and screening and diagnostic of COVID cases, treatment, control, and management of the cases. Many facilities have been opened by the Indian companies also, free of cost for the general public at large. Similarly, the drinking water is a very big issue in most of the parts of the many parts of the states. So preventive health, sharing of information, and screening and diagnostic and treatment and control, these has been given certain issues which the corporate sector has taken care of. Similarly, health system strengthening, the corporates has worked very well. Community support and demand, that means improved knowledge of the community, sharing information through their platform, and participation in the health program like vaccination program and treatment compliances. Even service delivery and human health resource, they have provided health information and technology. They are creating medical products and supplies. They are ensuring and providing health insurance, advocate for enable access to health insurance scheme and equity in response measure. They are doing well. Similarly, response to poverty and livelihood needs, provision of economic sustenance through direct transfers and providing wages during the COVID period in many industrial houses in Ludhiana where no work was performed. Even then, the companies and the even small scale industries paid to their wages to the laborers without work. So, sustaining livelihood initiative of at-risk communities they have been provided, and response to educational needs of the children, as I have shown you that the Vardhman Care is providing lot of opportunities of education to the needy people or the at-risk people, and they are opening new schools. They are giving strength to the existing government schools, adopting the new government schools by providing the infrastructure. So these are the some of the initiative which has taken by the even then, because of that, Vardhman Textile wins India CSR award for promoting education, and the company is awarded with the India CSR Project of the Year award for a unique CSR project, Vardhman School Development Program, making quality education accessible to the underprivileged section of the society, and especially for the children of migrant workers. They are doing one lot of work for that. Even Hero Group of Industries in Ludhiana. These are the few examples where corporate sector is genuinely coming forward to help the people and a community at a large. So I think fighting with the COVID is not only the responsibility of government as a whole. Sometimes we always complain to the government that government is not doing this or government not doing that thing. But as a whole, as an Indian citizen or as a part of the business community, it is my and our responsibility also, even the company's responsibility also, that they should work hard and they should bring certain fruits to the society so that we can save the life on this earth. Again, I am emphasizing the Ratan Tata statement that this is not an year of earning the profits. This is an year of saving the life on this earth. And if as a citizen I am able to perform my responsibility, as a businessman I am able to perform my responsibility, as a corporate world person I am able to perform my responsibility, this is going to save the humanity at a large. And if we are in a situation to win this at present juncture, I think the future is very bright. So this is all from my side. There may be number of queries from your side. I welcome to all of you regarding this.
Thank you, sir. Your inputs are really very useful for our students. So now I'll request all the students to have got some queries. So Dr. Rohit will manage the session I request Dr. Rohit to manage this question on our session. Those who have some queries, they can unmute and they can ask our honorable expert.
Students, any query, you can send in the chat box also, and you raise your hands or you unmute all yourself. Uh, 5906.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, yes, beta.
So, how does CSR contribute to sustainable development of businesses?
Yes, very important question. How does CSR helps to sustainable development of this nation? Because we are drawing so many resources from the society. Like if we are even earning water from the ground, even if we are working and giving some pollution in the form of air pollution to the society by running our steel plants or other kinds of hosiery plants, that means we are basically degrading the environment. So we have to, as a part of the CSR, we must develop something like if you are polluting the water, some part will be necessary because of the pollution control agencies we have to do. But apart from that, we have to provide safe drinking water to the local community also. If we are doing something by providing safe drinking water to the local community, that means we are curing and having a treatment plant of the water. It means we are saving the drinking water on this earth. Similarly, if there is some kind of hazards which are coming out of your factory, and as a responsible citizen, you take some areas of your locality and plant trees there and have green belts there which can absorb the carbon dioxide and other gases which are running out of your factory, so that the environment is clean. It means we are not developing our factory only, but we are developing a habitat on this society which is required to sustain on this earth. So this is called sustainability. So if your actions are contributing positively for the sustainment and sustainability of life on this earth, by even giving green community, green water, everything, the green factory you have to make, which not only depollute the environment, clean the environment, but make the life happily and readily available resources on this earth which are necessary for the human being. I think that is a situation of sustainability which contributes, because otherwise the companies will not do it. If they will do something extra, only then sustainability will happen. Something is required by law, but apart from the law, there are a number of things which are required to be done for the saving the habitat on this. That is called contributing toward the sustainable development of this earth.
Thank you, sir.
Students, any more questions? You can unmute yourself if anyone have one question in chat box.
One question
Sharma.
is that whether law makes it necessary to contribute something as a part of the CSR. I already told you, if you are earning the minimum 5 crore rupees as profit, or your turnover is 1000 crore or more, or your capital is 500 crore or more, then you have to contribute. If you are from the last 3 years profit, 2% of the last 3 year profit as a you must have the commitment and committee for CSR in your organization. At least 2% of the profit must be spent on the CSR activities. So apart from that, Schedule 7 of the Companies Act 2013 also prescribe the various activities which the Ministry of Corporate Affairs has amended during this COVID period, that they have to spend on these kind of things as a part of their corporate social responsibility.
So do you think that farmer protest is also a problem of our economic growth?
Repeat your question.
So do you think that farmer protest is going in our India is also is a main problem of economic growth?
No, it's not a main problem of slow economic growth. Every protest has its own repercussions because we are living in a democratic society. Every citizen of this country has a right to protest by remaining under the provisions of the law. So, if there is a protest because of the opposition to the public policy, definitely it has an impact on certain areas. If the protest is going on in 2 or 3 states, so that means we have an impact on the economics, but it is not the only factor. Every protest has a bad effect on the economic growth of the country because certain economic machinery is affected. The production is not smooth. The facilities of transports are not smooth. So therefore, labor availability is not smooth. If there is a no production in the agriculture sector or the low production in the agriculture sector, that is going to affect. So it is not only a farmer protest that is affecting the economy. Every kind of civil disturbance or every kind of protest by any community is affected. The economic impact is there, but we cannot blame the farmer protest only. So they have their own rights. They are fighting for their rights. So the time will come who is right or who is wrong, because it is ultimately the democracy. It is the democratic rights of the people, which is 130 crore people, not only 1 or 2 or 3 states, which will take care. So I think only one protest has no overall impact on the economy, though it has small impact. Every protest has impact. No, not only, we can't describe that it is only because of the farmer protest.
One question is in the
one question is another is there because there is a pandemic situation. People are not able to earn profits. So it is not that only in the years of the profit the people has to contribute. It is more required in the pandemic situations. If in present situation the society is in the grip of the pandemic and we are facing a difficult time, the responsibility of contributing more to the CSR is more. As again, I remind you the Ratan Tata statement that this is not an year of earning the profits. If you have earned the profits in the past, lot of profits, and generated a large amount of chunk for that, if you can spend 5% or 10% out of that for the philanthropic reason and for the welfare of the people, nothing bad in it. But if you will do it now, people will pay you in the future. So it is not
one
time of
question.
thinking. It is not time of
One
thinking that. Gigi.
one more question. What is the impact of CSR?
What is the impact of CSR? Definitely, if the business organ which is contributing maximum for the growth of the economy jointly contribute for the welfare of the people will survive, the people's health will survive, they will be efficient, then up to it is going to have a positive impact on the livelihood of the people, on the health of the people, on the economic aspect of the people. So everything is connected in a one way or the another way. So definitely, if CSR contribution today is there, it is going to have a positive impact on the public perception regarding the company. It is going to have a positive impact on the society by saving their life. If life is saved, if there's no life on the earth today, then who will work for you, and what will be the fun of earning the more profits? If I have seen so many examples daily, we are reading in the newspaper there were 5 members in the family and 100 crores their properties were there, and all the 5 member dies because of the COVID-19. Now who is going to reap the benefits of this 100 crore? If same is the situation with the society at large, if we are in a position to save the life of the earth, your corporates will work. Otherwise, for whom your corporates will work?
So next question is, everything is going to privatize. Will it help in growing the economic of India?
This is what we have to take decision, define in our own way. Everything is going to be privatized. There are a number of countries If you look at America, it is a totally private economy. There is no public sector. Public sector is limited only to the few sectors which otherwise everything is run by the private sector. The most important thing is that as a society we have to clean ourselves first. Today, if the government is putting down lockdown and people are not behaving properly, then it is not the fault of the public sector. It is the fault of ourselves. So if as a private sector, as a corporate sector, we are behaving responsibly and we are behaving like a transparent manner, even the defense of this country can be given to the private sector. Look at the Canada. Look at some of the countries where there's no their own army to save their borders. Everything is in the hands of the private sector. So it is the transparency and the consciousness of the public at large that they should build a private sector in such a way that is more transparent and absolutely good for the development and health of the country. So it is not bad that everything is going to be privatized. If everything is going to be privatized, it has a positive impact also. The negative impact starts when we don't behave properly. If we can pressurize the government to set the things right, we can pressurize the private sector also, which are only 100 or 150 people. If the one factory is there in Ludhiana, which is polluting the Buddha Nala, but the 15 lakh people or 50 lakh people of this country are doing, what they are doing, they can force that company to stop polluting the water in Ludhiana. If you cannot, if 15 lakh people cannot force the 150 people which is running a company, how can they force the government itself? So it is the responsibility of ours, which may have to make the private sector more responsible in this regard. Only then you will be able to do something for the society. Otherwise, we will be puzzled in private sector, public sector, why private sectors are doing all this. So the privatization has started from the 1991. It is not started till now by this Modi government. This was started many years back, and many positive things and many negative things are coming in. But negativity, we have to remove it.
Students, any more questions? No question in chat box, and no one raise the hand or unmute.
Thank you.
Over to Dr. Neeraj.
Thank you, Rohit sir, and thanks, Ashwini sir. Now I will request Dr. Bhavuk to propose vote of thanks on behalf of the college and the department.
Thank you, Dr. Neeraj sir. Very good afternoon to our principal, Dr. Khushvinder Kumar ji, respected Dr. Neeraj, our of the department, all my fellow colleagues and my dear students. It is my pleasure to present vote of thanks on the behalf of our college and our Department of Management to our resource person, Dr. Ashwani Bhallaji. We are very much thankful to you, sir, for sparing your valuable time out of your busy schedule and made aware about corporate social responsibility and business ethics in the COVID era to our students. I must express my gratitude to worthy principal, Dr. Khushvinder Kumar ji, for his motivation and support for the type of extension lectures for our students. I am very much thankful to our HOD, Dr. Neeraj Goyal sir, to showing us a way of perfection and encourage us for such events. And organizing of this event is not possible without the technical support by Dr. Rohit sir. So we thankful to you, sir. And finally, thanks to our students for making this event interactive. And once again, thank you all.
Thanks, Dr. Bhavuk. And Ashwini sir, really the inputs that you have given that are immensely useful to our students, and thanks for reminding our duty to we people that what we can do towards the society, especially in this pandemic era. So thank you very much, sir. I know your schedule is always busy, but you never says no to we people. So we are really blessed to have an elder brother like you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
And
सर
Rohit
ग्रुप
sir,
फोटो के लिए
I'll request all the student के अपने cameras on कर लीजिए. Let's have a group photo. Students सारे कैमरा बच्चे अपने ऑन कर लो, एक ग्रुप फोटो हो जाएगी सबकी. तो आजकल ग्रुप फोटो ऐसी होते हैं जूम के ऊपर, है ना? तो let's have a group photo. All the students switch on your cameras. वैसे भी बहुत टाइम बाद ना आप लोगों के फेसेस देख के अच्छा लगता है ना? क्लास में भी आपके कैमरास ऑफ होते हैं तो बहुत टाइम बाद वो सारे स्टूडेंट इकट्ठे दिख रहे हैं तो लवली फेसेस एंड स्टूडेंट्स को देखना हमेशा ही मोटिवेटिंग और अच्छा लगता है. तो स्विच ऑल योर कैमरास, ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स.
थैंक यू सर.
Okay, thank you Rohit sir,
Thank you, Ji.
and once again thank you Ashwini sir,
Thank you, Ji. Thank you.
and it's really nice to have you here. So thank you very much.